Yeah.
Indeed. All right. Meanwhile, let's talk a little bit about this. The President of the United States has made it very clear the reason he is president is he ran on a platform where he was going to secure our southern border. Well, Congress did not give him enough money to build his wall. So given the fact that in the last month, the number of illegal border crossings has increased close to 40%, the President of the United States is ordering up the National Guard to go down to our southern border to help out secure things.
85% of the border guards said we need a wall, we need a barrier. Well, they're only putting $1.6 billion into it. You're only spending $650 million. September, they're going to get they need 25, roughly, between 19 and 25. So rather than sit there and say, too bad, the president's taking action, here is the Homeland Security Secretary, Kirstjen Nielsen, who did the work and offered and spoke to all the lawmakers about what they need, and she didn't get it.
Our current border security and immigration laws fail the American people. The system rewards bad behavior. It does not punish lawbreakers. Unfortunately, time and time again, Congress has failed to act. We will not allow illegal immigration levels to become the norm. Violating our sovereignty as a nation will never be acceptable to this president.
Well, she goes on to say that these illegals that are down in Central America, that are in Mexico, that they know our loopholes and they exploit them. They all know about catch and release. They know as soon as they put their foot on American soil, they're going to get caught and then released into our country until their court date. And then they find ways to stay and not show up for their court date. And then once they're in the country, it's hard to track them down.
We had Judge Napolitano on with us just about 15 minutes ago, and we were talking a little bit about this National Guard thing and how would it impact the people involved with catch and release. And he said, you realize the president could end catch and release today because it's not a law. It was actually something that started during George W. Bush's administration, where it was an executive order. So if the president wanted to stop the way it's working right now, all he'd have to do is coordinate with his executive branch, and he could do it.
Now, what would that mean? That would mean that...
Catch and hold.
What would they do? They'd say they
turn them around.
But do they have the manpower on the border to do that? Maybe that's why he's sending in the National Guard.
Well, here's what the National Guard can't do. Guard troops are not allowed to pursue, confront, or detain suspects, including illegal immigrants. They can't or investigate crimes, make arrests, stop and search vehicles, or seize drugs. I know it's going to be intimidating seeing guys with camouflage on the border, but we got to empower them to do something.
Well, what they can do is surveillance.
Call them nasty names.
Well, they can see something and then call the Border Patrol.
They can do surveillance and intel, but they cannot do law enforcement. We've got a lot of questions. When's it going to start? Exactly how big is it going to be? Where's the money going to come from? Kirstjen Nielsen, the Secretary of Homeland Security, will be joining us at 8:30. We've got a million questions for you. If you've got one, email us.
And yesterday in the press conference, she also said that the illegals, they know that it's easier to get through because of the sympathy if they have children with them. So they tell these illegals, when you're coming into America, take a child with you. They'll be more sympathetic and let you in.
Right, and that's one of the reasons why the president in the last week has said that a lot of these illegals see DACA as a loophole, which it would be their avenue to winding up with some sort of status, and they're trying to use that. We'll keep you posted on this because it's a fluid situation. The big question today is, what will California Governor Jerry Brown do? Because the governors of Texas, Arizona, and New Mexico have made it clear, hey, we can use the help. California, so far, on hold.
Well, this was a tweet from Senator Kevin De Leon. He's the author of California Sanctuary State. He said Donald Trump can rant all he wants, but there's no imminent influx of asylum seekers coming to the U.S. border crossings along our southern border are at their lowest since 1971. Governor Jerry Brown should ignore Trump's pointless and expensive call to send National Guard to the border.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see that New Mexico is in, Arizona is in, Texas is in, California was in for President Obama. Now there's suddenly don't see a reason. Meanwhile, 1,000 come across on a daily basis, 300,000 on a yearly basis, and you don't think that's an emergency with 12 million already here illegally? Meanwhile, one of the people that is upset by all this is anyone on the left, especially in Hollywood. And when you talk about somebody who's way to the left,